Most relationships don't break suddenly. They fade, slowly. And from the outside, it looks confusing. Everything seems normal. No big fights, no obvious problems. And then one day, it ends. People say, "I didn't see it coming." But that's not true. It was always coming, just quietly. Here's what actually happens. One person starts expecting things without saying them. More attention, more effort, more understanding. But instead of asking, they wait. They assume the other person will notice, will understand, will just know. And when that doesn't happen, nothing is said, but something changes. The tone shifts. The energy drops. Small moments start to feel heavier. And now the relationship isn't built on connection anymore. It's built on silent expectations. Think about this. There are two ways people handle what they feel. One speaks, the other waits. The one who speaks might feel uncomfortable, exposed, even awkward, but at least they're understood. The one who waits looks calm, reasonable, low maintenance. But inside, they're keeping score. And over time, that score builds. Not loudly, but consistently. A moment gets missed. A need goes unnoticed. An effort isn't returned. And instead of saying something simple like, "I needed that from you," they say nothing, because saying it feels risky. What if it causes tension? What if it leads to conflict? What if it changes how they're seen? So they stay quiet and convince themselves it's the better option. But it's not, because silence doesn't remove problems. It hides them, and hidden problems don't disappear. They accumulate. Here's where it gets more subtle. Not all silence is the same. There's a difference between peace and suppression. Peace feels light. You're comfortable not saying anything. There's no pressure behind it. Suppression feels different. It's heavy. There's something you could say, but you don't. And that weight shows up in other ways. Short replies, less patience, less interest. Not because the feeling is gone, but because it was never expressed. Now here's the real issue. Most people don't even realize what they're doing. They think they're being understanding, flexible, easy to deal with. But what they're actually doing is replacing communication with expectation. And expectation is dangerous when it stays unspoken, because in your head, it feels obvious, reasonable, even fair. But to the other person, it doesn't exist. They're not ignoring your needs. They don't see them. And over time, this creates a strange dynamic. One person feels unappreciated. The other feels confused. One is thinking, "Why don't they get it?" The other is thinking, "What did I do wrong?" And neither of them says it out loud. So the gap grows. Now here's something most people never question. What exactly are you expecting? Not generally. Specifically. Time together? Support? Attention? Effort? And more importantly, where did that expectation come from? Past experiences? What you saw growing up? What you think a relationship should look like? Because sometimes, you're not reacting to the person in front of you. You're reacting to a version of someone else and holding them to a standard they never agreed to. That's where things start to break. Quietly. Now let's make this practical. Instead of expecting, translate it. Take something simple. In your head, they're always on their phone. They don't care about me. That's an expectation mixed with frustration. But what's the actual need? Maybe it's this. I miss spending time with you. Now that can be said. Clearly, directly, without guessing. That's the shift. From silent expectation to visible request. And yes, it feels uncomfortable at first, because now there's a chance they might say no. And that's what most people are actually avoiding. Not conflict, but clarity. Because clarity removes illusion. If you ask, you might find out the other person doesn't want the same things, and that's harder to ignore. But avoiding that truth doesn't fix anything. It just delays it. Strong relationships aren't built on perfect understanding. They're built on clear communication. Not dramatic, not constant, just honest. Saying what you need before it turns into frustration. Because once frustration builds, it doesn't come out clean. It comes out as tone, distance, coldness. And by then, the problem isn't the situation anymore. It's everything that was never said. So here's something simple to try. Next time you feel something shift, don't analyze it for too long. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just say it, even if it comes out imperfect. Because imperfect clarity is always better than silent misunderstanding. At the end of the day, people don't lose relationships because they ask for too much. They lose them because they never asked at all.